Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Peter, and together here with Eva, we would like to present you our web application we developed for Ceskodigital. But first, let me tell you what a great event this is. Also, great to be part of a competition because everyone in our team is way too competitive. So we are definitely hoping for the finals. But it's not only about the competition, also about celebrating the end of our first year, which was also amazing. So yeah, pretty good to be here. But it's not always good. Sometimes it can be bad, sometimes it can be even worse. And that takes us back to February 2022, when war in Ukraine started. And people had to just run away from their homes because there were bombs literally flying over their heads. And a lot of people wanted to help them, a lot of countries, and Ceskodigital wanted to help them too. And they did with one of their projects called Umapa, which was an app that was displaying the situation at the borders, how busy it was there. So it was not only helpful for the people from Ukraine, but also to other people who wanted to go to the borders, wanted to help, volunteer, so they knew where to go based on the app. And do you know how long does it take for a project like this to get done? Because in Ceskodigital, it takes 1 month just to find the people for the positions that are needed for that project. Now, let me introduce you Aneshka and Romana, who are responsible for this at Ceskodigital at the start of every project. Well, their life used to be pretty hard before they met us. Because the way they used to do it is that they had to go through six different Excel files with more than 20 columns each, most of them free text, so you can get how messy that can be. And they had to go through all these files just to get information about one volunteer. And you don't need just one volunteer for a project. On average, you need about 15 volunteers for a project. But it's not only that. They don't need to contact just one person for the position, because they can say they are busy at their work, they are expecting a child. You can think of whatever reason you want to as why they can't be in that project. So Aneshka and Romana told us that they need to contact, on average, 8 people for each position. So let's do a quick math here. We have 15 positions. They have to contact, on average, about 8 people. So 120. 120 people, or volunteers, they have to find in those massive Excel files and also contact them via email. And just to give you an example, this is just one of the columns in those Excel files. As you can see, competencies or skills, which is one of the most important information for them. And now, try to imagine filtering using a basic Excel filter in this. And this is just a one cell. I just feel sad talking about it. And not only that, Aneshka and Romana also told us that due to this process being so time-demanding, sometimes they are not able to go through the whole database, which is more than 6,000 volunteers, and they are looking at just volunteers that joined Ceskodigital in the last 6-7 months. So it can happen that they might miss someone who is better for that position just because he joined Ceskodigital 2 years ago. And now, I'll let Eva tell you more about how easier and faster Aneshka and Romana will be doing it now.
Thank you, Peter. So, this is the state how we got to the project. And how did we help them? We did a scoring algorithm designed to recommend the best fit volunteers or mentors according to the skill set needed. It is then followed by a nearly automatic mailing system. All this is accessed through a web application. But why waste time talking about this when we have the application already up and running, so I can show you a few snapshots of it. Firstly, we have a login page because of the security. It is followed by a form, which is the most important part of our project. There we can choose from volunteers or mentors. In the second part, we see 3 blank boxes that when filled, that it is inputted into the mailing, into the automatic mailing. And the third part, the skills, that can be added how many skills you want. And it is in the form of skill, seniority, and optionally weight, in times when you want to prefer one skill to the others. When hitting submit, we can see the output. This output can be, we can show more rows, we can see there all the volunteers or mentors with their information, and on the left side, you can see checkboxes. These checkboxes are for the recruiters, that they can check to whom they want to send the email. If I check it and press send email, I see an email that is all ready to be sent. So this is what we did with the hard and long-lasting work of Agnieszka and Romana. And now you might ask, how did we do that? How does it work? And if it is truly reliable? So let's shed some light on these topics. Our solution is solely cloud-based. It is transparent and scalable, meaning that if needed, it can be easily used by other subjects following the same objective. When you see all those technologies used at the top of the slide, all of that are already an integral part of Ceskodigital technology stack. And why did we do that? Because our main goal, besides making Ceskodigital recruiting process more efficient, was to develop a solution that has nearly no adoption barriers. And what we did exactly that. And now comes the burning questions of all. How much does it cost? And what do we need now? The answer might surprise you or might not, and it's quite simple. We need nothing. Our solution does not add any additional costs for Ceskodigital, nor does it add any needed skill set for Ceskodigital workers. Why? Because as I already mentioned, we used only the technologies that are already in their technology stack. And on the other hand, about benefits. There is a bunch of benefits, and there is exactly 250,000 of them, because that's as much as we save each year, and it is growing with the number of projects in Ceskodigital. In other words, it is 50% of saved effort of Agnieszka and Romana, and if you want it other way, it's 100 person days per year. That looks quite good, right? And what do we do now with the project? How do we set it into production? Well, the project is already up and running. We are already helping Ceskodigital to be more efficient, to save time, to save money and human labor, which can be utilized in other ways that benefit me, that benefit Peter, and believe me, everyone in this room. Because as Ceskodigital says, we are changing Czechia for the better through ones and zeros. Thank you for your attention, and please welcome the whole team, Peter, Carolina, and Adrian on stage, and we are happy to answer all of your questions.
So thank you, Team 6. Jury, we have just witnessed an incredible presentation, so what are your questions?
Thank you. May I ask, why do we have the semi-automatic or nearly automated generated email? Why do we use in 2023 emails to contact volunteers?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. Anishka and Romana are using Gmail, and they asked us to just make a template, and the 3 parts that are filled in the questionnaire is what they want to write by themselves, specifically based on the position or the project.
That's not answering my question. Why emails?
Oh, sorry.
Email is a preferred way of communication for Ceskodigital, and it's one of the only contacts they have with the registered volunteers. So you have a profile of a user, and email is what has to be submitted, and that's what they have, like, with each volunteer as a form of contact. They also use Slack, but they use Slack for communication when the project is already running, because not all of the volunteers are constantly checking Slack. You have to have it downloaded either on your phone
But
or...
it shows you a notification rather than email, right? It can be buried in emails, because sometimes communication with students on emails is quite tricky. So that's why I'm asking. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you for your questions. Another question from jury? No? But so I will have a question. Can you describe a little more about what you did technologically? Because it all sounded like you just exported data, created a smart form. So why is it better? What's great about this, technically great?
So basically, we have developed algorithm which employs distance and similarity metrics. So we calculate several metrics with respect to the baseline or the input from the form. And if the user skills are more similar or less distant from the input, the higher score is and better match it is.
And what is the feedback you have received so far from the Ceskodigital team?
Great.
No technical issues.
Actually, I just got a message from Gabriela from Ceskodigital 20 minutes ago, and she was just suggesting that they would like different columns in the output. But basically, the model and the web application, they are really satisfied with it.
Are there any other organizations like Ceskodigital here in Europe which could use this?
Yes, I believe that every country nearly has a non-profit organizations like this. It's just not in our knowledge to map it right now, but also that's what we were talking with Ceskodigital, that they are really transparent. They are not taking it as their own, as a secret. So they said that they would be happy to share the knowledge, and because they are doing it for the sake of all of us. So it's not for the profit. So I believe that that would be in their knowledge to share those informations, that there is a possibility to do it like that.
Okay, thank you for your answers. Big applause, please, and get ready.
Thank you.